What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we have Bitcoin setting at $62,600, breaking out of our downward sloping trend line and finding support at key levels. We also have a lot of the altcoins showing strength relative to Bitcoin, including Ethereum setting at 34.57. Uh, but today, first of all, I wanted to get into the macro and discuss what is going on with the stock market uh, nearing all-time highs. How much higher can we go? And what sectors is money rotating into? And then we'll get into Bitcoin and crypto. So if that sounds good to you guys, you know what to do. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And happy July to you all. It is Monday, July 1st. We've got a holiday week ahead, so the markets will be closed on Thursday. But I wanted to just take a look and do a little recap on the monthly here, and take a look at some of these monthly charts just to get a better idea of what is going on in the market. So let's get started. So this is the SPY sitting at 545, and this is the monthly chart, and we have zoomed out here. I updated a couple of these charts just to give you a little better idea of what we are seeing, and basically what we have seen over the past couple of years since the highs in 2021 is we have this big cup and handle pattern playing out on the SPY. uh, so we still have a ways that these markets could go uh, for peaking out. If you just take a measurement from the uh, cup to the trough on the cup and place that up here, well, um, you could see we could go as high as around 600, or that would be 6,000 on the S&P. Same thing on the Qs. We have a lot of room to run here, so we could do the same thing for that. Just taking a measurement here from the bottom to the top, and then moving that up here to show you where these markets could go. So that gives you a target of around 533 on the Qs, currently sitting at 478. One thing I would say is there's a possibility that we may see a pullback or some sort of correction here, possibly in the coming months. Heading into the elections, we know this time of year is quite volatile going into the elections. Um, so we could see a pullback here possibly in the next couple of weeks or months, but overall, still momentum is to the upside and we are in a bullish trend. So what else is going on in the markets and why could they go much higher? Well, we have this article came out this morning on Barron's. The stock futures are rising after encouraging inflation data. And if you go down into this article here, it says the futures for the Dow Jones Industrial added 96 points or 0.2%. S&P futures also gained 0.2%, as did contracts tracking the tech-heavy Nasdaq. All three indices finished lower on Friday, but are still close to record highs. Um, and then it says data on Friday showed a drop in the annual rate of inflation of the core personal consumption expenditures index, the Fed's preferred measure. Slower inflation could lead to a rate cut before the end of the year, which could give the stock market a boost. So that's just something to keep in mind. We do see inflation starting to come down, even though it doesn't really feel like it. Um, Inflation is coming down just a little bit. We also have the M2 money supply here showing an increase in May. So we know that the liquidity is starting to come into the system. They're starting to spend in the background to keep everything moving, including the markets and the economy. And where is money rotating to? Well, you have these other markets where I believe you may see a pause on some of these bigger stocks like Nvidia. Um, you could see money rotating into some of these other markets, such as growth companies and some of the mid caps. You have the mid sitting here at 29, 28, and basically has been ranging sideways here on the longer term trend for a couple of years. And of course, in the past couple of months, we have broken out of that. And now those previous all-time highs are acting as support. So you could see something like these mid-cap stocks go much higher, or you could just buy this ETF. Um, Another market you could look at is emerging markets are starting to show some signs of recovery. And this is the HSI coming down into key levels of support. We've got our upwards sloping trend line, plus we have this parallel area here that was acting as resistance. That could also act as support for the HSI, and you can see a bounce here where we got some oversold conditions on the daily. We also have gold sitting at 23.31, and this is the monthly chart. So this just shows why some people are predicting gold to go much higher. This indicates it could go as high as 2,600. A lot of analysts believe it could go as high as 3,000 dollars an ounce in the next couple of years. But if you take a look at this on the weekly, well, will see that we are right here on the bottom side of the RSI, just starting to put in a golden cross on the weekly for gold. So we could see a nice little bounce here in gold coming up in the next couple of weeks. And of course, that would be good for stocks such as the gold miners. This is GDX, the gold miners ETF, sitting at 34.30, showing a little bit of green today. And of course, we've got this downward sloping trend line, which we pointed out here several weeks ago whenever this broke out, that we thought we were going to see some more movement towards the upside. So really anywhere around in this area should be a good level to get in on spot buy, or if you're a longer term investor, you could just dollar cost average in. If you are interested in buying stocks, commodities, crypto, or gold, you can do so over on Robinhood. Plus, they're offering a 1% boost and 8 times the national savings rate, and they allow you to begin building your portfolio with just as little as $1 and trade commission free. If you're interested, there is a link down below. And as I mentioned, they do offer cryptos such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and many more. All right, guys, let's get into Bitcoin and what's going on with the price of Bitcoin. Well, let's take a look at the heat liquidation map first for Bitcoin. This is the weekly heat liquidation map, and it shows that we have swept those lower areas of liquidity like the market wants to do. So it looks like this could have been a short squeeze for Bitcoin, going down to sweep those levels. And if we zoom out and take a look at the monthly, well, then you'll see that the most likely move is to the upside. We have some sitting around that $65,000 level as a plus. A couple areas up here around 69 and 72,000. So you could see Bitcoin going much higher here soon. And of course, if we break these previous highs here, well, then you could see Bitcoin going up to around $85,000. And I believe that could happen very soon. The bulls are defending the lower side of this range after several weeks of Bitcoin just bleeding, and then that one final wick down to around 58,500, and our trend line acting as support. So there is quite a bit of support in this area, um, but we really need to get back above that midline and confirm that we can hold above that level before probably moving higher. Um, and one thing I did want to point out for Bitcoin is if you take a look at this on the weekly, well, you'll see that the RSIs are entering that oversold condition, and we could get a golden cross here any moment for Bitcoin, and that could send the price much higher. And if we zoom out to the monthly chart as well, well, you can see that basically the previous all-time highs is acting as support here. So we are now putting in our, I guess today will be our 5th month above this level. And so you could see Bitcoin really start to move higher. I will say um, on a shorter term time basis, if we go back to the daily here, the key will be holding the $60,000 level. There is some risk that we may go lower. If we take out this previous wick here, that could send price lower. We could see a bounce up to this mid-range or possibly get rejected around that $67,000 level, and that could send the Bitcoin price lower. But overall, we are still in an uptrend, and really until we lose this level down here around $57,000, well, it's still bullish for Bitcoin. Um, we can also take a look at the total 3, which is sitting at the bottom side of this range, and a lot of these altcoins are starting to show signs of strength relative to Bitcoin. We also have this coming out. Meta plant buys 20 Bitcoin amid the market surge. So this is a China or a Japanese investment firm. Metaplant has purchased an additional 20.2 Bitcoin valued at 1.24 million as a part of its ongoing strategy to increase its Bitcoin holdings. Now, that's not a ton of money, but you're starting to see a lot of companies and institutions starting to do this. This article continues to say this move brings the company's total Bitcoin holdings to 161.26 Bitcoin. The acquisition was made at an average price of 61,500 Bitcoin. The shares, along with the election of new board members, this development follows a trend of institutional interest in Bitcoin. So, as I mentioned, you're starting to see a lot of other companies and institutions get in, and we know that we have a lot of people buying into the ETFs. We've also seen Ethereum start to outperform Bitcoin and finding some strength due to the uh, Ethereum spot ETFs that could begin trading as soon as this week. So that is bullish for Ethereum, as well as many of these other altcoins that are starting to find key levels of support. We have ADA or Cardano um, breaking this downward sloping trend line and seeing a little bounce here today at 39.94. So we could see this move much higher, as well as names such as Polkadot breaking out of its downward sloping trend, setting at 627. And so you could see a move in some of these altcoins here very soon. And we have an analyst that eyes DOT seeing $12 on the horizon, so we could go back up to that previous highs that we saw there just a couple of months ago on some of these altcoins. A lot of these have bled out, but overall, you have this long area of accumulation and sideways action, and we broke out of that and came back down into that area with the midline acting as support currently. Um, so you could see a lot of these coins start to really outperform the price of Bitcoin. Plus, you're putting in an actual uh, higher low than previously. So that is bullish for some of these coins. If you're interested in buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Chainlink, and many more, you can do so over on iTrust Capital. I use iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital allows you to buy, sell, and trade crypto, gold, and silver 24/7 in a tax advantage IRA with low cost and no monthly fee. If you're interested, there is a link down below. Yes, it's an affiliate link, and I do appreciate it. And they have over 5,000 plus 5-star reviews now on Google. Plus, they have people that you can actually talk to. And when you set up an account, you can receive an additional $100. All right, guys, let's take a look here on this trade. I placed a trade last week on Chainlink. Chainlink sitting at 14.23 this morning. And if we zoom in here to the daily, we can see that we broke our downward sloping trend line, which acts as support. And we have our upward sloping trend line. We're now breaking back through that, so that should act as support. And we have our first target up here of around 1760 to 2058 for Chainlink. So if we saw a nice little move here in the next couple of days, well, then you could see enter a place where you could take profits if you're trying to trade Chainlink. But overall, I think this is a really great spot buy for anybody that's missed out on crypto so far this season. And we probably still have a couple more years to run here in the stock markets if nothing changes. So that's something to keep in mind. And we're right here at key levels of support. So this could be a great spot buy, or you could continue to dollar cost average. And here's the trade I took over on Prime XBT. If you're interested in trading on Prime XBT, uh, you can do so. There is a link down below. I opened up this trade here last week, and right now we're in the red just a little bit, but you can see my trade here. Um, and this little trade gives you a nice little almost 3-to-1 risk versus reward. Um, so I thought this was a good place where you could apply a little bit of leverage if you wanted to try to do that. I put, I think it was a 2x on this. I don't normally uh, recommend using leverage unless you really know what you're doing, but if you can get these great entries, well, then you really minimize your risk. Although this is a volatile market, this is a good way to begin building an account. Um, but again, you should know what you're doing, and you want to make sure that you are getting the correct entries if you're going to try to use leverage. Right now, Prime XBT is offering up to a $7,000 sign up bonus or 25% off your commissions on your trades. So, again, if you are interested, there is a link down below. Also, guys, don't forget to go follow me over at Mind of Financier on X. I am Mind of the Financier on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, so you can follow me there as well. But Over here on X, I post anything that I see that has to do with the markets, including stocks, commodities, and crypto. All right, guys, it is Monday. Happy Monday to you all out there. It is the start of the week. We've got July 4th coming up. So I'm sure a lot of you all are excited about the holiday. We've got a couple more trading days until then. Um, Also, drop a comment down below if there's anything you want me to take a look at and do some analysis on, some technical analysis. It's important as uh, traders and investors, really more so traders, that you also keep an eye on the macro and understand what is happening overall with the economy as we move forward from here. And never forget to check out those fundamentals when investing. Um, but until next time, guys, take care. Have a great day. Be legendary. And